Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast with Jay Gordon Duncan, where we are helping you create a better you. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is about week 3 or 4 of the new direction. You guys have been great in terms of following up, liking, reviewing, and just asking us what's going on. The new direction here is moving away from faith, family, fitness, and finances. Now, my business and my marketing is over on the Capitalize Your Best podcast, which comes out every Wednesday. And here we're just focusing on making a better you, those personal things that gives me the opportunity to share with you and interview people about things like physical fitness, brain health, and in those arenas. And what I'd like to do here is I'd like to share a recap of this past weekend's historic half. I'm aware that not everyone here is a runner, but I definitely want to share my experiences and I hope they're an encouragement to you. But before we get into that, I have a couple of things to share. Excuse me. So, first of all, if you followed me online or if you've been over at the Capitalize Your Best Life page, we are hosting monthly seminars here in Fredericksburg. They are the third Tuesday of every month and they've been focusing on thriving. And so we have done seminars, really they're workshops about overcoming the inner critic when life starts over, creating noble purposes and common spaces. And this upcoming month, when we get into June, we are going to be looking at who's in charge here. And we're going to talk about controlling our thoughts. And so taking back control, telling our brain what to do, not just letting our brain be in charge. Excuse me. And so those are the third Tuesday of every month. They are at 2 p.m. at Gin Tommy Wellness Collective in downtown Fredericksburg. They are in person only. They're limited to about 10 people, 2 to 4. And then at 4, we have a social. You can find out more at capitalizeyourbestlife.com/thrive. We have not posted the June event yet. I will be posting very, very soon. But every single month, that's where the registration is. And then, of course, I share the information about that on my personal page. And then I also share it over on the Capitalize Your Best Life Facebook page. So please check out those events. And also at the end of this podcast, if you make it to the end, I've got a special offer I want to share with you. Something's going to help you achieve those goals that you've been working through. But now let's talk about the weekend. Okay, I'd like to talk about Saturday and Sunday, my thinking, my thought process of going into it, and some things I've learned. And interestingly enough, I filmed this podcast yesterday and lost it completely. That's only the second or third time. The very ending of it did not record or film, and I don't want to post a podcast that's missing the last 5 minutes. So we're doing it all over again. But I've never had as successful a running weekend that I took so casually. Now, I don't believe that the new methodology for me is to take running casually. For example, when I ran the Richmond Marathon back in November, I wasn't going to qualify for Boston by taking that casually. That was an all-out planned effort all the way down to my every moment of nutrition and sleep and every single moment of the race. But this weekend, I took casually. Mainly because my original intention was just to run the historic half on Sunday. And I didn't have a big goal. I didn't have like a half marathon PR personal record goal. And I was going to run it with my buddy Danny. And I didn't think I was going to be able to keep up with him. We were going to start together. We would finish, go get our normal Cracker Barrel pancakes and mimosas and that kind of thing. But then I found out that they were running a Saturday 5K. Now, they used to do what's called the Devil Dog Double, which was my favorite, which is when you would run the half, turn around, go do another 5 miles and finish. And it was an 18 miler. I had done that 2 years, loved it. They no longer offer that race anymore. So this year they offered the inaugural Semper Fi challenge, which is a 5K on Saturday with a race on Sunday, the half. And I was like, great. And so like within 10 days to go in the race, I just thought I'll do that. I wanted to do something more than a half. And and I don't enjoy, most everybody will know, if you listen to me, I don't enjoy 5Ks. They're just 20 minutes of pain. But I thought, hey, let me run both. And my calendar afforded it. Now, Friday night before that, I was part of the Hope Heroes Gala. And so I was out Galilean. And so I woke up Saturday morning, not a ton of sleep, a bit dry mouth, not as hydrated as I would like. But I had in my mind, I don't know why. I was like, I'm just going to go run a 20-minute or better 5K. Guys, that's an all-out 5K. For me, for my speed, my age level, a 20-minute 5K is no joke. I mean, we're talking, 620 something pace for 3.1 miles. And my thinking was, okay, I'm going to race Saturday and then I'm going to take Sunday as it goes. And so when I got there Saturday morning, there were 1,200 people there. And I don't know if I've ever run a 5K that big. And so when you get 1,200 people racing, you're going to get some thoroughbreds out there. You're going to get some speedsters. And I was like, okay, it's not the kind of race that I have the skill level to win, but I think, have the skill level maybe to win my age group. And I did not look and see, are they doing 50 to 59 or 50 to 54? Just didn't really know what they were going to do. But I was like, all I know is that I'm going to get at the front of the start pack. I will know within the first half mile what I've got and what the crowd looks like, finish strong and see what I can do. So I'm up there and I'm getting ready and I'm looking around and I'm like, yeah, there's some speedsters here, but you got to run your race. And I've run this course before. They've changed it a little bit this year, but it has a steep downhill to like 1.5 and a steep uphill back to mile 2. No fun, but I knew that. And so I'm at the front and I don't wear prescription running glasses just primarily because I don't have them. And so I wear just very light sunglasses because it lets me still see my watch when I'm trying to track my pace. That's just of note. So we take off. We run behind the expo center. We do this little roundabout, and then we hit a slight uphill. And so I'm about a half mile in, and the pack is already thinned out to about 15, 20 people, and I'm in that front 15 or 20. And I'm like, hey, I'm in the lead pack. If I stay in this lead pack, I've got a good chance of running a good race, but I am dry mouth. I'm like, wow, it's not hydrated enough here. And on a 5K, I don't stop and get water. It would just slow you down. And so we make the turn to the downhill, and I'm like, I got to make some hay here. And I can't fully see my pace because it's overcast and I'm just not getting a good view of it. I was like, okay, all I can do here is run by feel, as fast as I can, stay in the pack and see what I got at the end. So we make the turn around the 1.5 mile. We come uphill, which is just dreadful. And I make the turn on mile 2. And at this point in time, I have a good sense. There's a hard left turn, and you get a good sense of where you're going to finish. I see one runner ahead of me, and I'm like, I know I can get him. I'm pacing much faster than him. The pack is way ahead of that, and there's one guy just steaming behind me, and this guy just blasts past me. I'm like, good for him. He's got something in the tank I don't have today. And I make one of the final turns, and I gotta admit, I eased up a little bit because I could see there was no one behind me. I was going to hold the place I had. I could pass the next guy, the guy ahead of me. I had no chance. And so a little disappointed in myself. I eased up. I just should have kept the hammer down, but I knew that my place was set. And so I crossed the finish line and I really couldn't see how well I had done. I got water and I was definitely thirsty. And finally I looked at my watch and I was like, wow, I ran like a 20, I forget what it was, like a 20:06 or 20:16. I could have broken a 20-minute 5K had I not eased up. But I was like, well, I don't know who the people were in front of me. I got a good chance to finish here. And interestingly enough, some races they immediately start posting the results. This 5K did not. You had to wait until the award ceremony, and they were trying to get this award ceremony done quickly. It was race starts at 7, awards ceremony at 7:45. So I'm waiting, and what they're doing is they're awarding 1 through 3 overall men, 1 through 3 overall women. They do 40 age categories, same, and then they do masters, the grandmasters, which is 50 and older, which is my category. And they got a really cool award on top of your medal. It's shaped like the skyline of the city of Fredericksburg, and they got the mayor there and some Marines. And so I don't know where I'm at. And what I discover is I won the Grand Masters title, which is everybody 50 and over, by like 3-4 minutes. Like I just took the field, and I was honored. I don't have a whole lot of podiums like that. So I was the Grand Masters champion for the 5K with like a 3 or 4 minute buffer, shaking hands with the mayor. A wonderful event. I'm calling family and friends. I'm like, man, I just didn't expect today to be what it was. Well, at that point in time, as the day progresses, I'm enjoying the win, but I'm sore. One, because I didn't come into this as well as I hoped, and two, it's just an all-out effort. So I'm looking at Sunday, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to take it how I feel. I originally thought I'd be in the 730s, and then maybe I'd be. Then I was adjusting. I was like, my pace will be in the 740s. And Danny gets there, and my buddy Danny, and he's just got tons of energy, and I can tell he's going to run really well. Take a sip of my coffee here. Well, um, I'm not going to do every moment of the race, but I do want to track it. If you ever run the Fredericksburg Historic Half, by mile marker 1.5, you get this really steep downhill, and you can, knock out some 715s and some 720s. You got to be careful because you got 13 to go, but it's such a downhill. You got to bank that time, but you're also navigating and zigzagging all the people there. And I've already lost track of Danny. I don't know if I'm ahead of him, behind him. And then you make this bank into a neighborhood, and then you start to settle down. And I had, by the time I get to a 10K 6.2, I had run really strong. Like a 44 minute, which is faster than I knew I was going to hold. I was nowhere going to hold that, and that's also the fastest portion of the race, is the first 6 miles, because we level out, and then you got a lot of hills at the end. And so I'm settling in, and I realized, okay, I am very tired from yesterday. I'm gonna have a good race. I adjust my 740s. I'm probably gonna be high 740s, low 750s. I can hold that. I swing through downtown. I see my friend Anita. I get an ice washcloth, kind of cool down because it's hot. And in the historic half, excuse me, when you pass mile 11, you have a straight up hill, which is called Hospital Hill, which is pretty tough. And you hang a right, and then you get a little flat, and then you have Cowan Boulevard, which is a steep hill over I-95 to a finish. And that where a lot of runners get broken. And so I was not running fast, but I was like, okay, I'm going to do Hospital Hill and Cowan. I'm going to do it, make sure I'm a sub-8 pace. And when I get to the top, I tell myself, what am I going to do here? I mean, I've got a little bit over a half-mile sprint, and I don't have anything to accomplish, but ego popped in. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to take this lazy. And so I put in some speed, and I sprint to the finish. I'm passing people. One person passed me. Good for him. He was blazing. And I just have a good race. I'm like, this was really good. I was in the low 750s, I think is where I was, pace-wise. And I hear over the speaker, stay around for the Semper Fi Challenge award ceremony. And I'm like, what is that? The Semper Fi Challenge was the 5K and the half. And I didn't realize that there was an award for the two. So I actually asked someone, I'm like, what is that? And they're like, well, we take the 2 times the 5K and the half, and then we give out another set of awards. Now, at this point in time, I already have the medal from Saturday and the award from that. And then I have 2 medals from Sunday. I've got the half and then the medal for doing both. And I'm like, well, what is there? And so Danny and I were hanging around, and they give away a Grand Masters title. And guys, I won the Grand Masters title by like a minute. I had banked so much time on that 5K, it gave me that buffer. And I didn't know I was racing for another title. Had I known I was racing for another title, I would have run the half a lot harder. And I'm very thankful I had all that time from the 5K. And so it wound up being like one of the greatest running weekends ever. I mean, I just got 3 medals and 2 a plaque and a trophy. I mean, like it wasn't necessarily about the hardware, though the hardware's fun. It's that this is a national race. I mean, there was 36 countries involved in this race, and I ran well without the full prep that I would have, and I took 2 podiums, and for me, it did a couple of things. I have to admit that in my running, sometimes I struggle with a little bit of imposter syndrome. Whenever I win something, I might think, well, the crowd wasn't very stacked, or like a local race. I mean, when I qualify for Boston, I don't have any qualms about that. I qualify for Boston. When I start running local races, sometimes I think, everyone here is faster than I am. But guys, this is a national platform, and I got 2 podiums on it, and I'm in the age category. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm 54. I'm in the Grandmasters category, and there's some racers out there. And I left that I needed that. I needed a moment to say the hard work, the sacrifice, the mornings, the adjusting what you eat, the sleep. Sometimes the sleep you need, sometimes the sleep you don't get. That those things are paying off. And it also reminded me to work hard in other areas, but with a confidence of what I can do. I mean, a half mile into a 5K, I knew I could do well, you know. And then on that half, I knew I could run Hospital Hill well. I knew I could run Cowan well. I mean, I had confidence in those. When I got the pictures, my posture is good, my form is good, and it reminded me finishing well. And all these have applications across life. And what I've told everyone here and anyone who will listen to me, you don't have to run marathons like I do. I just love them. You don't have to run half marathons, five. You don't have to do any of that. I don't care if you're yoga or if you are skeet shooting. I don't care. I mean, I encourage you all to have your thing of physical fitness outlet. Mine is running, but here I am. I am what, 16 years a runner, and I'm still learning lessons. Like the sport will not stop teaching the lessons. And so now I'm like, what is it that I'm capable of doing? Do I need to go back and do another ultra and learn something from the distance? Do I need to go back and tackle the marathon again? Like I don't know that yet, and I'm in that dangerous time of my life where I don't do well and I don't know what I'm gonna do next, and I'm zeroing in on that. But I left the weekend still learning lessons that are applying to me personally and business wise. And the 2 points on the race where of each race that I walk away with the 5K was the uphill at the 1.5 mile. That is just, it was just agony. Like I said, I was very dry mouthed and not prepared well. And that's the toughest part where you just really have to grind. That's where you make up the ground and pass people. And then the historic half was Hospital Hill and Cowan. I mean, I've run those both faster, but I ran those confidently. I've run those before, and I knew that if I kept my form and I do what I knew it to do, I knew that I could survive that well, pass people, and end strong. And those were moments that I'm still sitting on as I take a week to reflect. So I hope these race recaps are in any way interesting to you. I hope there's things you can take away from. I enjoy doing them for me personally, and I'm publishing them here, hoping they have some benefit for you. So thanks for that. Now, real quick, I mentioned an offer. Um, I would love for you to head over to capitalizeyourbest.com. And I'd love you to fill out a form, or I'd like for you to reach out to me, one or the other, because I've created a 90-day life program. My focus is marketing training, but I do have a personal program called Capitalize Your Best Life. And in it, you're going to get a video every day for 90 days with a set of instructions of activity or journaling. I'm going to give you a journal. We're going to meet 3 times. And if you would like to tackle those areas of like of fitness and spirituality and relationships, this is going to do that. It's a video every day for 90 days. You can start anytime you want. I give you a journal, to Capitalize Your Best journal, and it's going to give you a set of activities or things to think through to help you grow in those. We're going to set some goals, and I'm going to meet with you one on one. And it's really sort of a 90-day tune up. So if you're interested in that, just reach out to me directly or go to capitalizeyourbest.com and fill out the form, and I'll tell you about it. We got a special running on it right now. We actually got a 72% savings on it right now. So if you're interested, reach out to me. But everything, guys, I really appreciate you listening. If you made it this far, you really have the perseverance of a marathoner to make it to the end and hear the story. I appreciate you. And as always, we'll be back again Monday and do it all over again. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Bye bye.